So it seems like it's easier like this to see. So right now, that's the main menu, okay?
Initialization has been gained.
When you get initialization, that's what happens. So you can see here it says RTK fixed, horizontal 0.11 meters. That's the accuracy in horizontal. And the vertical is 0.11 meter. RMS, root mean squares. So that's your accuracy. That's the accuracy that you want, okay? Basically, right now I have 7 satellites. The data collector is at 30%. The rover antenna is at 90%. Okay, and this is your main menu. Now let's just see what happens when I set this down on the ground. So it's going to tell you initialization has been lost. Okay. See, it doesn't give you the accuracy anymore. So initialization has been lost.
Initialization has been lost.
Okay.
Waiting for satellites.
So again, I picked it up. I'm going to hold it level. All right, and we're going to wait for it to initialize. Okay. So it tells you RTK float. Float means you have 2 modes. You have either it's floating, which is not, it means you don't want to take a measurement when it's floating. So horizontal accuracy right now was 2.4 meters. And when it says initialization has been gained, your RTK fixed, you got 8 mils, 15 mils, horizontal accuracy. So right now if I wanted to take a measurement, basically I will go into survey. Okay, and I will go measure points. Okay, so you got your point number. Whatever you're measuring, it can be, you know, placed iron spike or whatever. And you hit measure. And I normally take at least 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds shots, you know. Depends on what you do. If you're doing a topo, you can just take a quick shot. Okay, and then you hit, so epochs remaining. Right now it's set to 15 seconds, and you can change all of this stuff. Okay, and I hit store.
Observation stored.
Okay, so up here, that's your point number, that's your code. This is the method. So you've got topo point, you've got observed control point, calibration point, or rapid point. So I usually just use the topo point and the observed control point. If I'm doing any control points, if I'm putting a spike, if I'm putting, you know, staking out something, it's a spike, I do observe control point. And usually I take 2 shots on it. So I take 1 shot for 30 seconds, then I lose initialization by just flipping the pole, and then I gain initialization again, and I take a second shot on it, use the same point number for like say 5-10 seconds. That's as a check. You always want to have 2 independent checks on the same control point. Okay, if I'm doing topo survey, I just use topo points, and topo points, I'll just take a topo shot right now. Let's say measure. So I think right now it's set to 5 seconds.
Observation stored.
You could set it, you could go into config here, hitting config or options, and here you have auto point. So occupation time is 5 seconds right there. I can change that to put it like say 2 seconds or 1 second. And you know, you got number of measurements, so you can change a lot of stuff in the software here. Okay, accept. Now if I take a measurement, it's going to go for 3 seconds.
Observation stored.
Okay, so that's the basic surveying of it. I'm gonna, if you want to go back to the main menu, you always hit escape. Okay, just going to show you the method. This is a very important step here, configuration. When you want to set the Bluetooth to either talk to the base or rover, this is where you go, configuration, controller, hit enter, Bluetooth. Okay, and then the top box says connect to GPS receiver. So you highlight, you basically, depending on if you want to talk to the base station, you pick that one. If you want to talk to the rover, which is this one, you pick that guy. Okay, that's the very important step. So when you want to set up your base station, you have to pick this guy. Okay, when your base station is set up and you're ready to go surveying with the rover, you pick this one. Okay, and you want to make sure that your Bluetooth is on. That's under config right there. Okay, you want to make sure that this box is always checked. Turn on Bluetooth, because if that's not checked, it's not gonna connect. All right, so that's that. Hit escape, and the way you know that it's talking to your receiver is this box right here. You got 7 satellites, you've got radio link, and that's your antenna height. Okay, this box at the bottom right here, that's your accuracy. You want it to always be within millimeters. Okay, so right now I'm at 2 cents horizontal, basically. Okay, what else can I show you? So you can, under survey, you have measure point. There's a lot of stuff. You can stake out, site calibration. I mean, I don't know how much detail you want me to go into, but there's videos on YouTube that you can see. Site calibration is when, let's say, you've done total station work, you've got existing control in the site and you want GPS to be in the same coordinate system as your total station. You do a site calibration, which is this guy right here. And what you do is you would normally have a coordinate file uploaded into the data collector with your points. Okay, and you go measure one of those points and you say, okay, let's say you survey it and call it point 100, and your point 100 is actually, say, 0.53 in your total station job. Okay, so you match the points right here, and you go add right there. It's asking for a grid point, which is the point that you would have uploaded here or you would have keyed in, and then it's asking for your GPS point, which is the same point but measured here, and then you tell it if you wanted to use horizontal and vertical or just vertical. So I'm hoping that you have a basic understanding of GPS surveying and things like that. COGO, you have compute point, you have compute area, compute azimuth, distance, average. You've got a lot of stuff in here. I wish I could show this better, but yeah, that's about it. So at the end of the day, when you want to turn off your system, again, you would simply turn this guy off. You just turn it off by holding that button. Okay, so that's off. Now in here, stuff is going to go away probably.
Receiver is not responding. Attempting to reconnect.
Receiver is not responding. So you just hit cancel there. You go into your configuration. Okay, controller. You go into Bluetooth and you tell it that now you want to talk to the base. Hit accept, and then you have to be within Bluetooth range of the base station. Okay, so I'm pretty close to the base station right now, and there we go. The base station has actually 8 satellites. Okay, so you've got 8 satellites. All right, now, and here, I'm just going to show you. So that's my base station, lights flashing, still logging data. So in here, I go into survey. I go RTK log, and I say end survey right at the bottom. Okay, it says, do you want to power down receiver? and just show you that's on right now. I'll say yes, and it should turn off my, yep, it just turned it off. Perfect. At the end of the day, when you want to go export points, you go files, you know, import export. So export fixed format files, and there you pick comma delimited, file name, text, test.csv, field number 1 is point, name, then northing, then easting, then elevation, then code, and you hit accept. Oh, sorry, you first need to there we go. It says no points. Why is that? Let me see. Export custom fixed format files. Okay. So why is it saying no points? Point manager. Okay, because I don't have a, I can have WGS84.